everybody. What's up, Brian?
What's up, bro?
You ready for New Year's or what?
What's that?
You ready for New Year's?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. As you get older, it's just, it's another day in the bucket. I'm not out here
Yes,
celebrating
sir.
like a 20-year-old anymore.
I feel you, man.
But no, I mean, I'm looking forward to the new year coming for sure.
I
We
bet
got some good
you got a lot
plans,
of
got some
projects. Huh?
good breeding plans in the works, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, this. We think next year you're gonna put some green pythons, green
not
tree.
this year, not yet. We're
Oh
getting
yeah,
there
huh?
though. That's going to be a few years out for that. We're
I
getting a
feel you,
we're
sir.
getting a solid stable of green trees before we
What's up,
decide to
guys?
breed them. What up?
What's up, brother?
Yeah, Matt with LMC Reptiles, guys. How
What's
y'all
good,
Good,
bro?
doing?
man.
Good, how are you?
Nice. Just kind of winding down from the holidays and getting all that done with the kids and everything. It's kind of been a little bit of a mission, but we pulled it off again. It's
Nice.
always
What's your
good when
shirt
you.
say?
It's a Morph Market shirt. Some things you can't. Some things you
Gotcha.
can't buy.
Gotcha.
Some things money can't buy. Everything else
Yep.
is on Morph Market. I kind of like the slogan.
Yeah, I had one like that.
Uh,
That's I couldn't read it. The one I had says, "Do you even breed, bro?" But the
I
same
like
Wharf
that.
Market shirt. Yeah, but just different saying. I
Nice.
wish they should put them back out again.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Do you even breed? Yeah, this year was kind of tough for us. Honestly, we didn't have as many clutches as we had last year, but 2025 should be pretty good, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, um, did have one really cool pied clutch last year, and that was neat. And but the year before, we had a bunch of really nice ones, so really excited about
Nice.
that. What do you guys? How was y'all's year this year as far as breeding goes?
Good. Yeah. I actually got really blessed with some really good odds, so I'm imagining that it's probably going to take a dump this year for me, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's weird how it does that. Like 2021 was slow for us, and then 2022 was pretty good. Then 23 actually was really good, and then this past year was slow. So maybe
Yeah.
this year will kick off something good.
I'm hoping to keep the streak going.
Nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hoping to get by 26 some double het, well, past double het monsoon ultramel stuff going,
Oh, that's what's up.
and I have
Damn.
4.3 of that clutch. Still, I kept everything back, and four of them are inchies too. So three inchy males, and then I've got an inchy female, and all pos double head. So pretty cool.
Nice.
That's one of my exciting ones that I had in 23, kind of at the beginning. And when you take inchy and mix it with ultramel, like het ultramel and het monsoon, it really makes something wild. And just for an inchy, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The
Um,
Super Enchi Monsoon has been one of my favorite ones so far.
I dig that one, dude. So I'm kind of thinking super inchy monsoon ultramel at like greatest. If we could
Yeah.
hit it. And then I have actually six eggs coming from the same male that I used for those to a highway. So I
Yeah.
have not seen a highway monsoon yet. So I would like
Hmm.
to see what that does.
Interesting. I'd like to see that too.
I paired him to a couple girls, and one of them was a big giant like cinnamon orange belly. So I'll try to get like a gravel from the highway clutch and put it to the cinnamon orange belly clutch.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's just like one
Yes,
little project.
that should be pretty good.
Yeah, I like.
That, that's an interesting thought, though. The monsoon with the highway. I'm really wondering how that's going to interact.
It's as surprising as it is. I don't know. Nothing's really changed it much as far as the pattern goes, but I like the pattern.
Okay.
So if you don't like the pattern, it's like it's hard to like a bunch of different combos with what it does. I guess for
Yeah.
some people, but I like what it does, and I think that the couple that I've seen lately, like especially the monsoon clown, was really cool lately.
Yeah. Because with the highways and the freeways, like even I thought like I seen an acid freeway and I couldn't believe the acid barely even touched it.
Right. So I'm thinking like just with the super or like even super gravel or like highway pattern with the monsoon. I don't know. I think it's almost
It
kind of
should work.
jaggedy already, so it's probably just going to do some more of the same like
Right.
jaggedness, but like just maybe darker colors or something.
Right. Yeah, that's
Or
gonna be
like
cool.
super. But I think that's pretty cool. And then um, I've got some other random stuff that's going on in the collection that we had pop out in 2022. Some red eyed stuff, um, and it was really strange. I have a super phantom that I bred to a pastel blackhead, and the pastel blackhead is set for lavender albino.
I appreciate it.
And when the clutch came out, we ended up with three super phantoms, and one of them was red eyed.
Huh.
So I don't know how. Like I tested the male. The male came back negative for phantom the first time I tested them, and I haven't tested them again yet. So I sent the sheds back in to retest the male. But the mom came back negative for lavender albino and for all albino forms, and
That's
then
wild.
and the babies came out negative for het lavender. So I've got two super phantoms that are, this is one of them here.
So they got red
Okay,
eyes, no albino.
no albino, no known forms of albino yet. Now to this date, I guess. Now this is the
That's
sibling
cool.
of the one I'll show you in a second. So this is the blue-eyed one. Okay, and then let me grab the red-eyed one.
That's wild concept, right?
So this is like probably the strangest thing that we have so far that's popped up in our collection. Now this one, I've
Oh, the
tried to
logo's
like
dope
look
too.
at her a couple times in the light, but my light does not do a real good job of
Okay.
showing her. It's got some weird glare on it, but I'll do the best to kind of see if I can tweak it a little bit. So when you look at her patterns, let's see. Stupid light.
Okay, yeah, we're starting to see it
There
now.
we go.
Okay, so there you can see the pattern, like on the side,
Yeah.
and then, like check these eyes out.
Oh wow,
That's so wild.
it's nice.
And we tested her for hypo. We tested her for everything. Like did the full panel, and she didn't come back. Only she came back super phantom. That was it.
No kidding.
Yeah. And then for the sibling again, like
Gotta
the
love these little
comparison,
mysteries and working through them.
pretty wild.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
Oh yeah, we could
so
definitely see it now.
so from the beginning, this one was super purple, like from the start. So I called her Purple Haze. So if it comes out with like a new form of albino, I'll probably call it Purple Haze albino, maybe, just because it was so cool. Like she was so like such a unique animal as a baby, and she's just kind of like dulled out a little bit, as an adult or whatever, but or not an adult, but just kind of like growing up. But you can kind of still see how it's got a little bit of the purple on the neck,
Yeah.
but not a lot, not like she was. But so this is something that I've had quite a few babies come out of this from the whole like related animals, and we've sent like 16 sheds to RGI to try and figure out some stuff with the whole project. So like a bunch of related babies that I have, we've sent those sheds off, and they're supposed to get back to us eventually with if they can find anything that's like abnormal with them all. Hopefully, there's something new. I don't really know what it could be. I've sent
I
like the
mean,
baby
yeah, that's wild.
sent the baby pictures to a bunch of people, and I just can't get any like no like closure to it yet. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of strange, but it's fun in a way, you know.
Right. Yeah, the little mysteries like this are always fun to figure out.
Now, I thought of all kinds of possibilities, and the thing that makes the most sense is maybe a Partho clutch with the mom because the dad came back no phantom.
Right.
Um, so maybe the mom, you know, is holding that gene. So what I did was is I was trying to like troubleshoot, figure out how to figure out, you know, how to get kind of past it. So in 2020, I had a clutch when I had a couple males that I was raising up. So I put one of those males back to the mom in 23 last year, and we made another red-eyed one. So we actually have two of those. The second
Huh.
one though is a little bit different, and it has banana and pewter in it. So it's basically a super phantom banana pewter, and then whatever the red-eyed gene is. So it's kind of harder to see the red eyes on this one, but let me see if it's. Hopefully, it's not in shed.
So the mom gave you two clutches like that 2 years in a row?
Yeah. So in 2022, she had one. Now the 2022 clutch, there was 5 eggs, and two of them went bad, and one was a set of twins, which is very Partho kind of seeming,
Right.
and the other one died on like on arrival or whatever. It was like dead in the egg, and then there was three super phantoms. So it was really strange to have that many supers, and the ones
Yeah,
that died
that's
in the eggs were also super. So this one is
that's what
all
it's
white.
starting to sound like.
Okay, now this one's not a Partho clutch because this one's back to the sun, and I had a bunch of random babies that weren't all super. So this was like, see if you can see the eyes on this one.
Yeah.
So kind of bluish reddish, and when you look at them, like when I look at them in person, they almost have like blue on the top, like red on the sides, and then not really like black like banana, but like definitely not like what you would think a super phantom should look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this one just came back super phantom was all. Now I didn't test for banana or pastel or cinnamon, but I know that's what the dad was a banana phantom pewter.
Gotcha.
Now he was a son to that mom in 2020, the dad to this one. So this one, I think, back to the mom, maybe next year would be my best chance to remake all supers with red eyes, or like
Right.
half red eyes maybe. Um,
Yeah, but tested negative for albino is kind of wild.
yeah, all of them tested negative for albino so far, and you know they were certain that it was going to be albino. The mom, I'll show you what the mom looks like. She's in shed, but I mean she's not like you're not going to think anything like major, like out of the ordinary with her. But so this is her, just like a normal, like super phantom looking animal, nothing like too. But this is the one that was making them all.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
And she don't have the red eyes, right?
Nope, she does not have red eyes. So just blue eyes on her. And then now, what is really strange.
So it's either got to be a recessive or an anomaly of some sort.
Now this is where it gets kind of tricky, and I'm not real sure. And I'll let you guys, tell me what y'all think about this. So the first clutch in 2020, I kept four of the babies. I kept two females and I kept two males because it was my very first clutch in 2020. We were like COVID breeders, started during COVID, and I got that breeder female. Was the first like breeder and the only breeder female that we ever bought. We basically bought everything babies but her.
Yeah.
And we got a clutch from her. We started in basically in April and in October we had our first clutch, and in December they were born. So
Yeah.
the so one of the males that I kept back was a banana phantom cinnamon spider. Okay, and I put him to a Inchy Calico Red Stripe that I got from Bob, which is a killer combo, by the way. There's
Yeah.
not too many of those. So the Inchy Calico Red Stripe times Banana Phantom Cinnamon Spider, and we made this. Okay, now we were trying to do like this toasted marshmallow kind of like project, and let's see. Now the cool part about this is look at the eyes on this thing.
The same thing.
Now this is not to any another animal with the red eye in the complex. Like like the other one was back to the mom, but this one was not. This was to a totally unrelated animal. Now I know banana can make red eyes, but I
Yeah,
have
but not.
bananas without red eyes. That's pretty like extreme for a
Yeah,
banana.
that's different. That's bulgy red eyes compared to like a banana red eye.
So this is
That's
like
definitely different.
so then I looked at the dad to this one, which is from the mom that made the first red eyed one, and the dad has red eyes, but he is also banana as well. So I thought, is there
Josh had
any
mentioned in
way
the
that
comments that maybe it could be something new that's allelic with albino because banana is in the albino complex, from what I understand.
Oh wow.
yes, yes, it is. It is a form of albino. So I don't know if it's something that the banana's doing, but it kind of doesn't make sense in one way because the clutch that have the super phantoms, there was no banana in that, and even if it was a Partho clutch, there still wouldn't be banana in it. So it
Yeah.
makes sense for this one, but it doesn't make sense for the other red eye.
Right. Yeah, yeah. It sounds like you got something new going on. I mean, if you tested it and didn't come back for albino and it's giving you albino eyes and you tested all the albinos that are available, like
Then
Josh said, it could be something new that's allelic with albino.
and that's what they're saying. They're like, you have something going on. It's got to be either a new line of albino or it's something that is going on to make red eyes with albino. Which
Yeah.
and then let's see, the male that made this one. This is from my 2020 clutch. And this is so this male has sort of the red eye thing going on.
Yeah.
Now he is Banana Phantom Cinnamon Spider. I like
Oh,
spiders. I don't know why. Me and my wife, like, we got a couple of them in the beginning.
it,
And one of my
that's
first,
because they throw beautiful patterns.
I'll show you one of my other favorite ones is to this boy.
What
It's
up, Damon?
actually, he's the only one I believe to this date. Now, this is Exanthic Hypo Spider. So basically an Exanthic honeybee.
Nice.
How's everybody doing this afternoon? That's beautiful.
Yeah, so I really like this guy. He's got a cool look to him. He was super cool when he first came out. And, you just don't see that a lot with the hypo and Exanthic with spider.
No.
Now, I thought like some
Well,
vanilla or,
so I mean,
you know,
technically, you have a Exantic and Hypo is True Ghost.
yeah, so I call it the True Bee, actually, is what I named it. So
So
like a
that's
True
pretty
Bee.
wild. That's cool.
Yeah, and this was my very first breeding project. When I got into ball pythons originally, I go, we got like two animals from a local shop, like a exotic like pet store, not like a PetSmart or something like that. But my buddy owns a local shop, Extreme Exotics, and we got some snakes from him. And then the parents of that True Ghost were my first morph market purchases that I got from Ball Brilliance, Matthew Marshall.
Okay. Yep,
Yeah,
I'm
and
familiar with them.
he talked me up through the whole thing. I've asked him a million questions. I was brand into it, so it was kind of cool. Like he answered everything that I asked him, and I raised those animals up from like 300 grams, and in 2022 had the babies from him, and it was actually he never made the project all the way through to make the True Ghost Spider, and he had sold another pair to another guy, and that guy missed on the project. So I still think it's the
Oh,
only one.
that's
Um,
cool.
But he's got some cool vanilla stuff. Maybe in the future I might try to get from that's like vanilla hypo example.
Yeah. I'm a fan of vanilla myself. I got a little bit of it. I'm actually replacing a lot of my fire with vanilla in the process of doing that.
Yeah, so I don't have any vanilla that I know of yet, but I've had a couple clutches where I've got extra stuff. It's not the first time that we had extra stuff pop up. We had another clutch in 2020, a pastel gravel pop up with special in it, and I put
Nice.
that to a super Mojave spider and ended up making like crystals, like 2 crystals out of the deal. So that was pretty exciting.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah, I like special too. I work special pretty good too myself.
I was
I
kind of
like it.
bummed my one special that I wanted to show you guys then shed, and so it's kind of hard to see him right now, but let's see. But I like the way the crystals look. Kind
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
of digging crystal. So this one, crystal gravel, just deep in shed. Pretty neat. Now that path, let's see. So this is the male that ended up having special in them and was just sold this past October. So when I look at
Eric's
it,
too
you can
funny.
see like the white's coming up the side,
Yeah.
trying to do the special.
Yeah,
That's kind
special
of like
puts
what I
whites
look for
around the
now.
alien heads pretty good too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, trying to say, anyways. Um, I don't know. I bought
I'm
into so many
special.
projects in 2020. We started with like in April, and by the end of the year we had 53 animals, and 7 of them we made. So we had bought more animals than there were weeks left in the year. It was kind of scary. And then
It's crazy how
just lately,
fast that happens.
and then I didn't really stop over obviously over the next couple of years I still bought more stuff. So I bought stuff last year even that I wasn't really going to, but I ended up buying stuff. I bought some hypopide stuff.
Nice.
Got a male Inchy Orange Dream hypopide, and then I got a female OD hypopide. So I kind of want to do the Mark Mandic looking super OD hypopide stuff.
It's not a bad
So
plan.
no,
He's
uh,
personally one of the people I look up to the most in the hobby and the industry.
same. I've told him that probably 3 or 4 times, and when I first bought our first snake from the guys out there at Extreme Exotics, it was just labeled as pastel inchy, and he goes, "Hey, this is probably more than this, but you're not going to understand it right now." And I was like, he wasn't even kidding; he was just being
Say no
honest with
more.
me. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of like frustrating for me as somebody who was like, and it was my very first snake, so I wasn't like offended, but I was like, dude, if it's more, I want to know what the hell it is, like what the world. So I start looking it up, and he was the first person that I found his website,
Yeah.
and I was just floored. I started looking through his like archives of his snakes, and I was just like, holy moly. I'm like, oh wow, like colors and stuff were just popping out, and then my mind was kind of tweaked after that, and I'm like, dude, this is cool.
Did you ever
Um,
figure out what the extra was?
um,
My
yeah.
guess
So
it would be
that
Scrambler or something like that.
no, it was a super pastel fire inchy is what I ended up having.
Okay.
Is what I think he is. I'll show you this is our very first animal. So um,
I am special, Dylan.
now I believe that's what he is.
Okay.
Head stamp's kind of like super pastel fire, and then looks very inchy-ish.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like now. I'm not like the best like gene detector. Like if I don't know exactly what the pairing is, but if I had to look, and out of all the ball pythons I looked at, like super pastel inchy fire made the most sense with that one.
Yeah.
But it took me a while to figure that out, and I was like, still haven't bred him. Like he was our first male, and never haven't bred with him yet. So a lot of males that I bought to breed with, I have not bred with, and I'm sure we all get faced with that
Yeah.
when you're in impulse buying of the beginning.
I
So I
got
have
about
a lot of
six in my
that.
rack right now. I'm just feeding all males
So
I'm not using.
yeah, so I think March 29th and the 30th is going to be our first Repticon that we're going to do, our first show.
Where are you based out
Finally
of?
got in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, okay. I'm in Marion County. I'm down in Silver Springs.
Oh, dude, you're not far at all.
No, not at all.
So I grew up going down to Willaca all the time,
Okay.
and that's kind of near Silver Springs a little bit. And um, when I was a kid, I'll never forget. Me and my dad were fishing, and I asked my dad if there was monkeys, and he looked at me like I was crazy. He's like, "Didn't you learn anything in school, Matt?" And it's like monkeys don't live here. And like about a minute later, we're cruising down the river, and there was a monkey in the tree. I go, "Well, then what's that?" And he's like, "Well,
Yep.
holy crap, that's a monkey,
Yep.
Matt." And so they had escaped from Silver Glen or Silver Springs down there.
Yeah.
But
They
that
live
was in
probably about like 10 minutes down the road from me. There's troops of hundreds of them.
Oh wow.
so crazy to like think
It
about
is.
that
It's
there's
wild.
monkeys. Now
That's
that was
crazy.
in 1987, dude. I might have saw like not maybe like the first wild one, but probably like one of the first wild ones up towards like the Willaca area,
Yeah.
which was pretty crazy for back then. And I was like 7 years old, and like I don't know what it was. You just looked up in those trees there, like going down the riverbank, and it just looked like monkeys would be in the trees, dude. And
Yeah.
blue, I'm like, is there monkeys up there? And then next thing you know, there was one. So that was pretty.
Yeah. It's like so crazy because I don't even think about it because it's part of the life here where I live. You know what I mean? Like we know that there's monkeys and we could see one at any time. You know what I
But
mean? Like,
anybody else would be like
yeah, and I
tripping on
tell
monkeys.
people about it and their mind's blown, and then I come to appreciate the monkeys again every time somebody's like mind is blown by it.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
But they
Uh,
better stay the fuck away from me, I'll tell you that.
I've heard they can get pretty rowdy, dude.
I said they'll be putting it on a t-shirt they come near me. I'll tell you that right now.
So
I'm not
one of
even
my
playing with
favorite
them
snakes
little
that I
disease
really wanted.
infested things.
Yeah, I don't. Fortunately, okay, I've got this really cool job lately where I work around a bunch of animals, and some of them are monkeys, but I don't like. I'm not like petting like animals all day like you would think, like working with the
Right.
animals like that. I'm doing like the rotten wood repair and building out the animal enclosures and get to build like the stuff that the animals climb around on.
Yeah, they leave you
So
alone for the most part, so it's cool.
yeah, and the animals that I do get to work with inside the enclosures, like they haven't messed with me yet. Like these one like cats growled at me a little bit when I'd walk in, and that was a little bit intense. But as far as like any of them coming after me or anything, nothing like that's happened. Now I did have one of these little monkeys. I don't know if he's a spider monkey or a squirrel monkey or something. I was working in his cage, and he was running across the cage like the wire, and he whipped me with his tail. And I told my buddy dad that he whipped me with his tail, and he goes, "No, they don't do that." And I go, "Well, he just did. Dude. Like, I'm not like making it up. He came by and whipped me. Like, and he's like, "No, they don't use their tails for weapons like that." And I'm like, "Okay." Then, like about a week later, dude, I seen this monkey chasing this kid down on YouTube, and he kicks him in the back, and the kid goes flying across the yard, and I don't know where this was. This is in like some other country, and then he's running, and they're playing soccer, and this like big monkey comes and kicks one of them. And the next thing you know, he's chasing down another kid and kicks another one. I'm like, dude, this monkey's going around kicking these kids. I'm sure and positive that monkey knew what he was doing when he hit me with his tail.
Yeah,
Now, like,
I seen that video.
dude. After that, I was like, yeah, monkey knew what he was doing when he hit me. So,
Bro, that monkey was malicious. He made that kid eat shit.
dude, that was probably one of my top favorite videos of last year that I watched.
It's funny.
I probably watched that like 10 times. Wait, 10 times more than I should have. Let's just say that.
I'm very I like when nature gets revenge. Like I'm one of those kind of guys. Like it's like, all right, we deserve that.
Oh, definitely the guy that was sitting there. I don't know where it was in Florida or if it was even in Florida, but the guy was trying to tame the alligator and doing some weird stuff, and he was on meth or something, and he totally got bit by the alligator, and the alligator like scarred him up pretty good. It looked like.
Ugh.
I was like,
Yeah,
dude, you deserve that, dude. You're sitting
right.
there
But
like,
on the other side of the token in Florida, you got a guy that has an alligator that grabs his dog, pulls him into the pond. And the guy jumps into the pond and pulls his dog out of the alligator's mouth.
still got this cigar in his mouth that didn't. He
It's
didn't
like,
drop the cigar. I love that guy.
that was like so wild, dude.
Dude, okay, so here in Jacksonville, you wouldn't think that like this would happen, but I'm literally pulling into a Wendy's, and we're coming home from fishing. We do a lot of fishing, me and my kids, and pull into a Wendy's parking lot, and they got a little pond out front. Well, right in the pond is like a 7 foot alligator, and it's just sitting there in the
Oh
like
shit.
on the bank, and it's like a retention pond. It's got a little drop off, so you can't just like go right there and pet it unless you like
Yeah.
jump down there. So at least they had like a gate around it. But I was like, holy crap, look at that gator. So we had just got done fishing, and we threw a sheephead, like a big sheephead, probably like 15-inch sheephead to the gator, and it smashed it obviously and took off with it and prowled around the lake with it and like was showing the bird. He's like, look, I got bird.
Come get it. Come get it. I dare you.
So that was pretty cool. We don't see that a lot, but like now I'm just like, you know what? Every little bitty piece of water here in Florida, you just better be careful. Like there's going to be an alligator in it.
Yeah, we get them coming up at the base of our yard once in a while because I got a pretty decent sized swamp at the end of my yard that nobody uses. So it's just filled with whatever wildlife and a couple of alligators.
The place I work, he's got quite a few of them, and I
Well,
get to
then
see
there's a
them.
big lake too, just right down three houses over. The swamp empties into the lake, but the lake is directly on my property, or the swamp, I mean.
Got you. That's pretty cool, man. I always wanted to like go back down there and, or at least go back down to the like spot kind of where my grandmother lived and do some fishing and stuff. A buddy of mine has a restaurant down there, like Shrimps R Us or something down there.
Yeah.
Wanting to go visit him and do some fishing down there, but I haven't done it yet.
Where I'm at, we see a lot of wildlife. I'm way deep in the forest. I'm probably like 20 minutes east of the park in Silver Springs.
Okay. All right, so I'll show you guys something else. This is
Oh, here we go. I'm a Chondro fan.
You
Nice.
go, Brian.
okay. So this one has got some really cool genetics to it. You guys are gonna like this one. If you're a Chondro fan, you're really gonna like it. Okay, so this is Bill's 2324.
Nice.
Okay, so
Say no
23.
more.
So this was um, I don't want to get it wrong. It was Jaeger times um, camo. Jaeger
Okay.
times camo. And camo came from green deuce. Green deuce came from blue deuce.
Yep.
And then Jaeger, the dad, is who produced the sickness.
Yes.
Now
I have
this
some
was
I have some
um,
Jaeger blood myself.
this was the yellow blaze Neo that he put on Facebook. Or I mean on Morph Market. I'm sorry, not on Facebook,
Oh,
on
no
Morph
kidding.
Market. Now he did post it on Facebook too. He posted it on Facebook first on his reel that he was putting it on Morph Market. And then I hit him up and I was like, hey, dude, I really want that. It was the yellow blaze Neo, dude. It was bad looking, dude, as
Yeah.
a yellow.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And
now
it
I
seems like
have
a
a
lot of
couple
his
more.
yellows have that really nice blaze. Anything that comes from his bloodlines.
Yeah. So it went through a little dark phase too. It had like some dark, darker blacks coming through, and then and a lot of the blacks kind of disappeared. I was hoping some of them would stay, but
Right.
um,
Yeah, I was not stealing your spotlight or anything. I just wanted to show you one of
oh,
the parent to this one is Bill's 1813.
okay,
So you could see the
wow,
nice blaze on it.
yes, absolutely.
Well,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
nice.
The sickness is the grandparent to this one.
Okay,
Or not sickness, I'm sorry, Jaeger.
Jaeger. Yeah.
I
I
just
like
recently am getting into chondros. Like I've been studying for a couple years, and I just started picking them up.
same. So my stepson, he's 11, but when he was like 8 or 9, when we were starting to get into all this stuff, he was like checking out all these different animals, and chondros were one of them. And my wife was like, "Hey, if we're gonna get one of these, we're gonna get it from this guy Ariely Max, right?" Um, and Socrates down in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes,
So
sir.
I started checking him out, and that's who I got my first two from. Was from Socrates, and I actually went down there and did some woodwork for him at his shop that he has. He does like breathing classes and does like the
Yeah.
ice baths and all that cool stuff. So he needed some work done, so I did some work there and did some work in his house because I did have like a custom furniture business as well. So before I got into reptiles, I just did custom furniture for like 15 years, where I would like just basically find trees on the side of the road or get them from tree services and mill them up and then make furniture out of it.
No kidding.
Um, Kind of like like third world country furniture kind of style stuff. And I just called it Krigo Creation. So on Instagram, Krigo Creations is like my wood business. And so I was talking to him, and I was like, "Hey, I want to put a deposit on this, this animal," and it was a Aru times Maniquari.
Okay.
And and he's like, "Yeah." So I guess through the process of us talking, he looked up on my Instagram and saw that I did woodworking, and he's like, "Hey, man, I see you do this custom woodwork. Would you be willing to do some trade out for this animal?" And I was like, "Dude, this is like one of the things when I got into this hobby. I was like, hopefully one day I can do some trade out for some of these people for some animals." So I was super stoked. So I did like a little deal with him for this like $1,500 Aru times Maniquari animal, right? And then over the process of like a month or whatever of this whole, or maybe it was a couple weeks or something, I hit him up and I go, "Hey man, I got a surprise for you." And and he's like, "Oh yeah," and I go, "Yeah, but I suck at keeping surprises." So so I sent him this picture of this bench that I made him. So I made him this really cool bench. Okay. Now you've seen the bench if you follow him because his kids sit on it in every video that they're in.
No fucking way.
Yeah. So that bench I made him.
That's awesome, man. I know exactly the bench you're talking about.
Okay. So the bench, right? When I made him that, he was so excited with the bench. Okay. Because I put the logo on it and everything, like hand carved, with the
Yeah.
router and everything. And he was just so excited. He goes, "Dude, I want you to come in my home and do some more work in my home, and I'm going to give you this $3,500 high designer yellow female or whatever." So I got this badass like high yellow designer from him, and I got the
Nice.
Avery times Maniquari. So those were our first two. And just me being into like the getting into the whole chondro thing, I'm like, "Dude, I love these, but I gotta have something from this guy Bill, dude. It's the
Yep.
sickness animal." And dude, when he posted that, it was like, I have to have more, like more, 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 more. So I kind of got that for a second, and then I had to like go, "Look, dude, you don't need any more right now. Like you got to like use what you have." So I'm trying to
Right.
like stop myself, man, but it's so hard when you see those things come up.
I mean, well, just to touch back on, the whole Socrates experience. Yeah, you got
Johnny,
some dope ass snakes from Socrates, but
how
on
are
top of
you?
it,
How
you
are you,
developed a
everyone?
personal relationship with Socrates. That's huge.
I really want to get this guy out, but I don't want to.
Nelson, just so big and watch some snakes, brother.
What?
Like, I mean, to somebody that's into chondros, developing a personal relationship with Socrates is massive.
Oh,
Oh,
it was
look at
amazing.
that.
He invited me in his home, and I got to spend time with him and see his collection. And now
Yeah, that's cool, man.
this is
Oh,
Rogue
wow.
times April O'Neil in his collection.
Yeah,
So Rogue is a real high yellow.
man.
Wow, that's a nice
Yeah,
color.
I gotta tell you, you're in there, bro.
Yeah, I mean that was a super cool thing, dude. To go down there and see his stuff, dude. Like his stuff by far was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, dude. When you go
Yeah,
in there, the room, it's a stretch canvas on the ceiling,
Yeah.
and it's the like rainforest.
Yep.
And as the sun comes up, the lights come on, and the rainforest lights up in the morning when the sun comes up. And then he's got rainforest music playing for the animals. And then as the sun goes down, the room dims down.
It's literally one of the most interactive rooms I've ever seen.
And it was in the
It's
news, something like that.
look, I got like the chills, like my whole arm is like standing up just thinking about the room, dude. Like if I have anything like that, it would be incredible. But yeah. So
That's
that's
cool.
now. Let's see. Got a couple other things that are a little different than what we've been seeing. So we do a few of these too.
Nice. Rainbows.
Yeah. So I have this is my female. I've been trying to breed this one with this really like dark red male, and I have been successful in getting them to lock, but unsuccessful on having a litter yet. But I think she's gonna have one eventually. She's kind of big.
Yeah.
Now I really like the rainbows. The rainbows are super sweet and like they're a little bit more racier than the ball pythons, but like get like when I hold those. Now the male, he's a big ass boy. He's taking a bath.
Wow.
So he's a real dark red.
Oh, the iridescence on those things are so awesome.
Yeah. Oh
How old
yeah.
is she?
He's freaking big. Like this one doesn't seem like it, but he's a big animal. Like he's got to be 6 foot long.
Yeah. You
Hello?
can see it.
What's up, buddy?
But what's the age on him?
He is probably I would say 4.5.
He's
Okay.
beautiful.
What about your female? Same age?
Same age. Yep. Yep. We got
Okay.
them both in 2020. Yep. And the this male I actually got. I was working on a job site. I was doing some pavers at the time, and this guy like came to work saying that this girl left a snake in his car. And I go, dude, bring it in. So he brings this thing into work in a Tupperware container with a lizard in it, dude, a green anole. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? This thing doesn't eat
Let that thing go.
anoles, man. So I call up my buddy who I was talking to at the time, who was in the snakes, and he's like, dude, that's a freaking rainbow boa, dude. I was brand new in the snakes. I must not have
Yeah.
been in them too for like a month. And he goes, that's a rainbow boa. That's a badass animal. So I gave the guy $200 for the snake. And then Extreme Exotics, I went there and bought a female to go with him. So I kind of like in the beginning, every time I like bought an animal, I bought like a male and a female. So everything
Right.
was like project kind of style. And then ended up realizing in the long run, once I buy a better male, I'm not going to want to put the other males that I bought previously to the females. So that's what I'm kind of based a little bit.
I was wondering if age wasn't, and maturity wasn't the issue why you hadn't been able to breed them yet.
I don't know. The only thing I've really read is kind of like on their length and everything, on how 4.5, 5 feet or something. Or
Because your regular boas are, your BCI boas are 4 years for maturity. So that's I don't know about rainbows though, so that's why I was curious.
okay, that makes sense though. I mean, and a lot of my animals were probably that way. Like some of them I'm thinking that should be breeding already probably are just a little younger too. Like some of the ones I bred last year, this year that I didn't get to go or whatnot with the ball pythons might be 3, but they just might not be mature enough yet.
I want to say you're correct, Dom. And I want to say the females are like 3.5, 4 years old, and I think it does have something to do with length. And then males are 2.5 years old, something like that.
Now I don't know if you can tell, but this one looks a little different, right?
That looks like my hypo female.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I got as a calico.
Oh.
Now it has not done the white thing yet. Like it looks like it's kind of fading a little bit in some areas, but I haven't seen any like real noticeable like white areas. But I did buy this as a calico. Now she is a one-eyed.
Beauty.
Size.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So no eye on this one. There's only one eye. So we call her Marvel. This is just our one-eyed calico rainbow. But, so those are the three rainbows. We got the one big red male and then the two females. Rinse my hands off real quick. Now, do you guys keep boas too? Like regular
Yeah.
boas?
Just one red tail female that I have, but I'd keep Doomerals.
Okay.
Well,
I don't have any of those. I have one regular boa I got from, y'all know Mark Meeks? Mark Meeks? Mark
Yeah.
Meeks? Got one from Mark's.
Okay.
all of
And,
you have snakes, right? Snakes.
You're gonna like
Yeah,
this.
I do all BCI boas.
I had to have an all black snake. Okay. So
Nice.
this is
The IMG model.
IMG Motley, and I believe it's type 2 anery too.
It's active.
Is it anery or anery?
Anery.
Anery. Yes, the type 2 anery. She's a wild one, dude. She doesn't like this.
This is super active.
Only thing it'd make it better if it was a black eye anery.
Now, you know what? Now, I don't know if this is the thing or not, but this kind of reminds me of like a little bit of a spidery thing. Like, not like totally, but she's always constantly kind of trying to go up a little bit.
So
But maybe it's just how boas are.
boas love to go up.
That makes sense, dude. So look, this is my only boa, so I don't have a bunch to like know what they do. So it makes sense now. I just didn't know why it's always wanting to go up. I'm like, dude, why do you always want to go up? Dude, you remind me of like a spider.
Yeah, boas love to go up.
But she's a sweet animal. Like,
Oh, look how black it is.
It is beautiful.
super black, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
gorgeous. Like I said, the only thing that would make it blacker is a black-eyed anery.
Oh wow.
Now he thought they were black-eyed anery when they first came out, but they ended up not being.
Because the Motley
But,
does have the dark eyes, but they're not jet black.
Yeah. But now there was a little pattern when I first got her, but now it's pretty much gone.
Yeah, that IMG takes over, especially on a Motley, because Motley's generally dark as they are, but you add the IMG in there and it'll just turn them jet black.
Man, that's like an oil slick.
Now it was possible het call albino and type 2 anery and IMG Motley is what it all the genetics is. Now I don't know if you can tell can you tell on the head of the anery or something? Not sure. Kind of see a little bit of the head stamp there. I don't really know how to tell the genetics that much in the boas yet, but I just thought, you know what? I have got to get one of these IMGs. Like, I just thought they were so cool. And this was another one that my stepson was super into. He was like, we need to get an all-black boa. And I was like, yeah, we do.
That thing's moving like a king snake.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like, you know what? I kind of miss, like, coming in, because once you get so many, I feel like, you don't, like, come in and actually, like, play with your snakes as much, because you're just constantly cleaning tubs and doing everything, but when I actually have one and I, like, handle them for, like, a little bit, it, like, reminds me of, like, when I first get them and, like, or first got into it and I, like, handled them all the time, and, you wanted to, like, do all this stuff, walk them up to the store and hang out with your freaking buddies with it. I don't know. I did all kinds of weird shit when I first got into this thing.
Well,
And I realized that, you know what?
as Corey said in the comments, boas are extremely curious.
Yeah,
So
that's what I've noticed about her. So that's cool, man. I'm digging that. So I'm digging the boas, digging the rainbows, I'm digging the ball pythons. I like the chondros. I don't know if there's a snake that I haven't got into yet. The only other thing that I have that I haven't showed you guys is a rosy boa that we have, and that would be like rounding off all the species of snakes that we have.
nice.
So nothing like special, just like the normal, burgundy or orange or whatever rosy. And but
Diversity is very, very good. It gives you different experiences.
I thought when you go up to the shows, you don't see a lot of like. To me, like here, I don't see a lot of rainbow boas. So I'm thinking, you know what?
No.
Get some rainbows going and something, maybe like I don't know if I'll get a male for the female boa, but like if I did, probably get something to maybe try to make the aneries again, and maybe like to see if the het call shows up. Maybe try to get something with some albino. But I really like leopards, but obviously leopards are recessive, and you can't make leopards without having leopard on that one. So
Right.
I was thinking that would be cool adding leopard to that, but that's just a long, long project. I don't know if I'm.
Do we have a big dog trainer over here, eh?
What's that?
No, there is a person over here, a lady who says a big dog trainer. So did she train dogs?
No,
Oh,
no.
this is just a name.
Yeah, it's just a nickname.
Yeah, it's because I have a big dog, only 5 months old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a Kenny Corso.
Oh wow,
Oh, nice.
those are big dogs. Yeah.
Narson,
Yeah.
you're in a different channel, man.
Huh?
You're in a different channel, brother.
Yeah, I know. All of you guys is a python, eh?
Reptiles
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to get one, Nelson.
Who, me? Holy shit! You don't even know how scared I am to hold a snake, and then you're gonna
There you
give
go
me
now.
look
You
at
need
that.
one of those, brother.
I was until my husband sent 46 of them to my house.
46.
So, Desert Ghost?
Yep, and then het tri-stripe.
Okay. Oh, okay, okay.
So I like tri-stripe a bunch. So
It's a
one of
good thing
my
to like.
um,
I know a
so
few people that are working tri-stripe.
I've read him a
Not
few
many people,
times
though.
for this big ass cinnamon lesser, het enhancer.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
How old is it? This one.
This one,
Yeah.
I think she is 4.
What, is a female?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's big. Nice.
So cinnamon lesser, het enhancer, and I believe she is possible het genetic stripe. When I bought her, the guy said she's possible het genetic stripe. So I'm trying to get that DG het tri-stripe to that, and then this is the other half of the project. You'll like this one. So this is chocolate Huffman hypo het tri-stripe, female.
Did she ask if you have anything for sale, brother?
I have some stuff for sale for sure.
Show us, man. We get a chance.
I have
Man, I like what Huffman does. I that's a gene I slept on. I wish I didn't because my whole basis of ball python breeding is based pretty much around the colors of orange. And
right.
it feels like it's I feel like I'm lacking without having Huffman in the rotation.
It's like to me, it's kind of like HRA comparatively
Yeah.
to black pastel and cinnamon.
Right. But you can get some nice you can pull some nice orange tones out of Huffman though, is what I'm saying.
Oh wow.
Yes, absolutely. Now my plan is to put the DG het tri-stripe to her,
Yeah.
So to possibly a tri-stripe that's double het hypo and DG with
Pet
chocolate
DG.
Huffman. Yeah, so it'll be het DG, het hypo, and then tri-stripe with chocolate and Huffman.
Okay.
Okay, and then put him to my Cypress hypo as well. So those would just be triple heads. But then I
Yeah.
want to take the Cypress and mix it with the chocolate Huffman because Cypress and chocolate are allelic, and Huffman with Cypress and chocolate I think sounds fire, especially
Yeah.
in tri-stripe.
Yeah. I would think so too. Yeah. Because I've had Cypress hypo before too, so I could see that.
All right, I gotta show you all this. I
Pet
forgot.
DJ, because I need
Okay,
some
so
Huffman.
this my wife picked out a while back.
Oh wow.
Okay, it's kind of hard to tell, but look right here.
Okay. Yeah, a little paradoxing going on.
There it's yeah, this light is freaking terrible right now for some reason. Okay, now you can kind of see where it's hypo. Okay, not hypo.
Wait, so what's in this?
So this, okay, so he's hypo and pied,
Yeah.
but also cinnamon and leopard. So cinnamon, leopard, hypo, pied, paradox.
I was about to say that that looks awfully cinnamon or black pastel, but the pattern is so immense on it that it threw me off.
Now, to me, it almost looks like some weird scrambler shit in here.
Right, but the cinnamons throw very, very low white pieds though. And you can see the cinnamon pattern though, is what I was saying. So that paradox is like
Yes.
super
Now, when
wild.
I show you what I paired them with, they look so much alike. Like you said, like so much like a black pastel and cinnamon, like on the head. Like when you see these two together,
Oh wow.
you're like, whoa, those look a lot like each other.
Right.
Okay, as
Yeah.
far as like their two heads go. Okay, now I had a clutch from her in 23 with him, but I paired her to something different this year, trying to go for something else.
That
Um,
is so cool.
now I put him to the Cypress Hypo this year, and then I was
Okay.
going to do that DG Het Tri-Stripe next year because I'm trying to make sure that his Paradox Hypo shit is not just like paradoxing through and then it's like real.
Right.
I already proved the pied out with him, so the pie's good.
And the
Um,
interesting part about that too, if you were to shed test that, it might shed test differently on the snakes in different spots.
Yeah, so here's what I did with that. I sent them his sheds because they were looking for like paradoxes back in the day,
Yeah.
and so I sent them his shed.
That's so
Like,
wild too.
this is one of his babies. No, she's in shed right now. All
Nice.
right, so that female was past Hosset pied, but she proved pied, and I think she's mahogany too because these kind of look like they got a little bit of a mahogany look to them. Or if that's the leopard, I don't know. So it's either black pastel leopard or black pastel mahogany. Now,
Hmm.
the eye stripe doesn't really look mahogany to me.
Right. There's no yellow
Now, I'll
belly
show
in
you the
that?
pie that I think. There was no yellow belly in the pairing that I know of.
Okay.
Well, this is the. So this would be hypo if he proves out hypo with that Cypress hypo, hopefully.
Gotcha.
So that's cool. Let's see, she's got dirty tub.
That paradoxing's wild.
Yeah, the paradoxes are wild. Now, her brother had a split face, like um, like his eye stripe had an eye stripe on one side but not on the other. I That might be kind of common in black pastels and stuff,
Right.
but was really cool looking. And I sold her brother. He sold quick. My buddy was like, super intrigued on the two-face pied thing. But so those two are from the Paradox. Those two that I just showed you guys. I have some Xanthic stuff that I made some with some pinstripe in it. This is the mom.
Thank you, Christopher.
She's a big fire dragonfly Xanthic,
Nice.
and then I bred her to an Xanthic het pied that ended up proving out to have leopard. So I bought a pair of Xanthic het pies in 2020, raised them up, and then put them together and didn't get any pies with a 1 in 4 odd. So I tested them, and the dad came back leopard, which threw my odd off, I guess, and I ended up with four leopard Xanthics that are het pied.
Huh.
And they're super dark. Here's one of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It's not a leopard pattern like you would normally think leopard. Like
No.
it's more like more alien heads and not like a real connected. I don't know. Some of my leopards have a very leopardy pattern
Yeah.
and
I know. I get what you're saying.
not those. It's like weird how leopard does that, but
Strictly business. What's up?
I wish this one was not in shed for you guys. Okay. This is probably one of my favorite animals I ever produced. So this is blackhead leopard, and she's Posset Holy Grail.
Oh.
But it is the most jet black freaking animal, and she is completely in shed, and it's kind of a bummer. But I really wanted to show you guys this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can see the leopard coming through on the belly for sure.
Wow.
She's got a wicked belly.
Yeah, I'm a fan of blackhead too.
Dude, I really like blackhead, and I've got some cool blackhead stuff. Like part of this whole year, I bred for blackhead. Honestly, I bred like
The thing I enjoy most about blackhead is when you turn it hypo, it turns orange.
Oh no shit.
I don't have any blackhead with hypo yet. I have like a lot with pied.
Well,
Or
when you
het
start
pied.
mixing it with other things, it turns it orange.
That's super cool. That's good to know because I have hypo pied stuff that is very orange, and if blackhead makes that oranger, shoot, that could
Yeah.
be something cool.
I got a few hypo blackhead stuff, and it's pretty orange. I was really impressed when I seen it. So especially like I know Enchi helps it out a lot when you mix Enchi and blackhead with hypo, but
Right.
the burnt oranges it gives off are incredible. It's like really dark, deep burnt oranges.
All right, so I got a question for you guys, and this is one that I've been kind of like pondering on for a while, and I'm working on building the animals up for it. So, you know how blackhead and spider are supposed to cancel out the like the spider look
Yeah,
on the spiders.
it does. I have one.
Okay, so I bred the blackhead pastel to a super Mojave spider. Okay, and got some cool looking spidery blackhead looking animals. Well, then I took a blackhead Enchi pied and put it to a phantom pewter bee. Okay, and I only got 2 good eggs out of the clutch. Okay, and it was an animal that I raised up that I made in 2020, the phantom pewter bee, and it's also possible het for the red-eye gene as well. But my plan is to put the animals with the spider back to the dad. Okay, now the dad's blackhead Enchi pied. So I have these Enchi. Let me just show you what he looks like. Or she. This is small still, but it's like this really cool Enchi spider, and it's 100% het pied. But look at the head stamp.
It is wild.
Now, what I'm thinking is super Enchi blackhead spider pied.
Super Enchi blackhead spider pies.
Okay, so my plan is to take
That'd be interesting.
just the spider head stamp away from the spy, because spider pies only have the head stamp pattern.
Right.
So with super Enchi and blackhead and spider canceling each other out, with super Enchi with pie, does it put pattern back on the pie?
I would assume yes, because here, let me show you something real quick. Because nobody believes that there's actually spider in this animal. But anybody I show this to, nobody believes there's spider in this animal at all, and there is because it's a pastel spider blackhead. So
Yes, I see
you
it.
know what I'm saying? Like you would never
Yep.
like unless you work it, you would not know there's spider in this animal.
All right, now I have another one to show you. That I want you to tell me if you think it has blackhead in it. So this one I'm kind of proud of. Now I think this is blackhead Mojave spider. All
I
right,
would
look at the
say
head.
yes.
And now look how it looks like
I would say yes.
a Mojave, but it also looks like something different, like a Mojave
Yeah,
spider. Like I made Mojave spiders with the same female, and they don't look like this.
right.
So I think that's blackhead doing that.
I think
And
you're
then
onto that for sure.
the head looks very like spot nosy, like blackhead spot noses.
Yeah.
Like totally like those handlebars or whatever you call them. Now I have another badass one too that has spider.
In the meantime, but let's do some giveaway coins over here. Anybody?
What's that?
I ain't gonna lie, you got me on this one.
Anyone knows this logo? 400 coins giveaway.
You got me on this one.
All right, so this one is um, with pastel blackhead, and I think it does have spider too.
If that's your only three options, then yes,
So it was
I
pastel
would
blackhead
agree.
times super Mojave spider.
Nice.
Now
Because
this
I
thing
mean,
was freaking. It was so wild looking
Blackhead
when it
does
was first
throw it
born.
throw it out the window when it comes to that. It just completely covers it for the most part.
So see this right here? How those come up like a square like that?
Yeah,
Okay, so that reminds me of what Dark Knights do.
right.
Okay, on Spot Nose and Chocolates. So Blackhead and Spider is kind of doing the same weird squared off things too. I don't know. It's kind of a coincidence maybe, but I think things in the same allelic complexes tend to do the same shit, right? Now it's not the exact same thing, but it's just like weird how they kind of like almost they
No,
look
I
like
would I
teeth or
would tend
something.
to agree with you because I have spot nose, yellow belly, cinnamon clowns that have that same kind of pattern like that, like what you were just explaining. So
Yeah.
I think you're onto something with it being in the complex, doing that for sure.
And then let's see. Maybe this one just should. Maybe it hasn't. Okay, now this. See what you guys think about this. So this is obviously pinstripe and clown, but it also was from. Hang on. So the dad was spot nose clown, and the mom was chocolate pinstripe het clown. Trying to show you the head stamp. So it has kind of like what I call like the goalpost head stamp. Like when you look at the Dark Knights, they have like a goalpost kind of on the head,
Hmm.
um, which basically is just like a super. I don't know, almost like what fire does. Kind of does one of those things around the head. But so I don't know if this is Dark Knight pen or if it's just pen clown or chocolate. Like baby pictures looks like could be a Dark Knight pinstripe, but as it's gotten older, it's just kind of faded and turned a little brownie pinnish and not like super special looking. Like you would think a Dark
Right.
Knight pinstripe would look a lot different, right? But pinstripe's really overpowering when it comes to clown and shit. So, but
Yeah, I
that's what
don't
we
have
got
much
from that.
experience with pin clowns at all.
I sent his his shed in, but I sent like a bunch of sheds in, but I didn't like buy the sheds off Morph Market yet. I just sent them all in and said, hey, when I get some cash, I'm gonna send it in, and I just haven't sent the cash to actually pay to get the sheds back. But I did send the two animals from that clutch to test for chocolate and spot nose, and then I sent the animals off in that Posset Holy Grail clutch I have. I have like a 2.3 in that clutch that I kept all the animals to.
Nice.
That was pastel leopard times pastel blackhead hat lavender, and pastel leopard was double het clown pied, and then the pastel blackhead was het lavender. So Posset het Holy Grails.
Need to get this damn Mandarin test under wraps so I can figure out what the hell I got going on with this, because I mixed it with Orange Dream and now I can't tell them apart.
Oh no shit.
That's a tough one. Tough one.
I mean, I can eliminate the OD and test them all for OD and then eliminate some like that, but it doesn't give me all the answers I need.
Yeah, the Mandarin's hard to tell, dude. I had a guy give me a Mandarin a while back, and I don't know if it's Mandarin or not, dude. I'm like, dude, Mandarin's one of those genes you could almost give somebody a normal and go, it's in Mandarin, and you'd be having a hard time telling the freaking difference. Like
Yeah,
some
for
people
sure.
would,
You know,
until you get like
yeah,
the
that
super.
a Mandarin is definitely a buy with your eyes scene. Like if it looks like a normal, don't fucking buy it.
Yeah, if it ain't like standing out,
That's
like
like the best advice I can give for Mandarin.
for
It
So
might
real.
still be Mandarin, don't get me wrong, but you want to be able to see that it's not a normal.
I totally agree. And same with kind of Orange Dream too in that aspect, right? Have any?
Yeah,
Did you have any that like look different, totally different, but are Orange Dream?
yeah,
You did.
yep.
So now, like, what do you guys think about Orange Dream? Like, besides like the high intensity and the like, like the high orange or whatever the one guy has, Hernan
Yeah.
has. But do you think there's like if you just had like say if you had like a super orange dream, you bred it to a normal. Do you think half the ODs would look like one and half would look something different?
He says yes, Chris Herndon.
Okay.
He said yes. There would be like a
So
visual
even if it's
distinction in the
super
babies.
OD, some of them are going to look like really nice ODs and some aren't.
Yeah, pretty much is what I gather.
I got
The
a
whole
couple
thing
of
about the
ODs.
whole like the high OD, from what I understand with the testing though, is that they're thinking that's also something attached to it that's intensifying it.
Like another,
But
like
I haven't
almost.
heard anything else about it either. So I don't know yet. But as far as I know, deep OD still tests as OD.
You know what's funny? What if it comes back and the high and the deep orange line is something like Mandarin added on it?
Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be wild? Because it does have a deep orange. Those deep oranges,
Yeah, it's
they're hard not to
distinguishable.
go and buy. But I have not yet to buy one yet. But they're hard not to. You look at them and you're like, dude, I want some of that.
Well, yeah, I do. The thing about buying it from Chris Herndon is that you can say that you got it from Chris Herndon, but I've had OD clutches that things like that have popped out of. Really dark, burnt orange dreams, and I just didn't think
Right.
anything of it, or he took it and worked it and made it something. But
I freaking love the way his stuff looks. Honestly,
yeah,
like his
I'm a
stuff.
huge fan of his actually.
oh yeah,
Daytona,
man.
his stuff was banging in Daytona.
I got
Um,
Scrambler and all kinds of stuff, so.
Yeah, I got a scrummer from him too, man.
Yeah, orange is my color, so his table's always a stop.
Wow.
Nice.
so this is the pie clutch that we had this year,
Nice.
and was a Firefly pie to Orange Dream, Yellow Belly Leopard double het, clown pie. So there was quite a few genes in it, and This is like the orangest pride that came out.
Nice.
And then one really nice OD.
Man, this is a good one, huh?
I like this OD.
Yeah, there we go. Mm.
So I feel like this is like a good looking, like if you were like see OD, like you'd be like, oh yeah, that looks like a nice OD.
Yeah, 100%. If somebody would say, "Hey, what's this snake?" I would say that's Orange Dream.
Yeah. Now,
But I have seen ODs too, where people told me they're OD, and I'm like, okay,
now what about this? Then if you look at this one and then that one.
yeah, night and day comparison. But you can still see that other one still looks OD to me, also.
So this one.
Yeah.
And then this is the one that I made. So I'm thinking, can you have that much in one clutch? Now these aren't from the same clutch, obviously, but if you had like a super OD and bred it to a normal, would one OD look like that and the other one look like that? Or is
I
that
mean,
not going to happen
if you have the high
within?
OD and a regular Orange Dream Super, I would think yes, it would happen.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just curious because I got a couple animals in a deal, and when the animal came, I didn't get the animal that I bought, and then the animals that were sent were different than the one I bought, and the guy was like, yeah, they're Orange Dream, and I'm like, I just hatched Orange Dream, and they don't look anything alike. I'm like, how is this
You
Orange
know,
Dream and that's Orange Dream?
I
And I'm
kind of
like, and
feel
I'm
like
not.
Orange Dream is like one of those always evolving genes, I feel like.
And that other one that I made could have fire or something else in it, and something else brightening it up, or who knows? Like it might not
Yeah.
just be OD or something, or could be Het Clown brightening it up or something, or who knows? Like,
It took me a minute to figure out what was in my super special, brightening everything up, and we found out it was Epic.
what is that? What group is
It's
that in?
it's just not a very well-known enhancing gene that not a lot of people work with or know of. And finding it by accident makes me want to work with it very much because it throws off some really bright yellows and oranges.
Is that in the fire complex?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna find out though. I'm gonna find out everything it has to offer. So
That's interesting.
yeah, I mean it's not like a high dollar gene or nothing. You could buy it. I think there's like two of them on Morph Market, and you can get them fairly cheap. But I kind of feel like after seeing what it can do with OD and special, um, yeah, it's got some potential.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Hey, brother, we did, and this TikTok live.
The
And
new jeans are
you guys
definitely
wanna,
like the Cosmo and
you
stuff.
gonna,
What's that?
and
What
I'm
were you saying,
saying,
John?
yeah, we any other this live video, anything guys you wanna plug it in?
Yeah, yeah. Let us know
LMC?
where all your socials are at, where people can reach you, because we're going to wrap this up pretty soon here.
Okay, yeah. So if you go on Instagram, we got LMC Reptiles on Instagram. And then on Facebook, we have LMC Reptiles. And then on Morph Market, I actually just opened my Morph Market back up today because I had it like shut down for a little bit last couple of months. But I did just want to go ahead and do that. So I reactivated it today. So there's a couple animals on there for sale on our Morph Market account. And that's LMC Reptiles. And basically that's Lauren, my wife, and then Matt Krigo Reptiles. So that's what the LMC
Nice.
stands for.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yep.
but
Really trying to cut you short, bro. We
Um,
just usually run this thing for about an hour, so I
no,
apologize.
that's fine, guys. Like, dude, thanks for having me on. And
No problem, man.
yeah,
There was a
definitely.
here's the thing: if I start talking about all the snakes, I could do this for 4 hours, guys, and I would still talk projects. And y'all invite me on another show. I'll do some more project talk, dude. I love this stuff, man. This is what
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
enjoy
man,
doing.
this is so
So,
much,
y'all,
brother.
thank you very much for having me.
Yeah,
yeah, we
there
yeah.
was a
appreciate you coming on.
All
question.
right, and then yeah.
There was a
Yes,
question
guys. So
earlier.
I'll just anytime y'all want me to come out.
All right,
we got
brother.
one
Good
more
news.
question.
Good news, bro.
What was the one more
There was-
question?
Yes.
Yeah, so there was a question earlier in the live. Someone asked where you got your hides from.
There you go.
Oh, the hides with the water bowl.
Okay. So all my hides. I'm glad y'all asked. Okay. So check this out. Now this one's overdone, but these are from Target in their Bright Room. Okay, and they come like 3 for $3. And then I cut the holes on the top, and then I put my souffle cups in the top like this.
Okay,
Oh,
That's perfect.
Okay,
awesome.
and these are just from Target, 3 for $3, and I buy them. And now they have the mediums too. So for like the medium snakes, I've tried to like cut squares in the top for like different size bowls, like these type bowls. I guess would go in the top of those. And these are Bright Room too, these little square balls. But and then for the mediums, I just cut like a thing like that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, and then
All
and they're flexy and like bendable and like pretty easy to clean. Like so, I found that they work pretty good.
nice.
But every one of my hatchlings in my 48 rack hatchling tub, every one of them has one of these.
Okay.
And then basically what I do is I have a stack sitting to the side whenever one of them craps on one. Instead of going and cleaning that one, I just replace it with the new one. And then clean them all at the same time. All right. So, yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Thank you for noticing that because not a lot of people notice that. But I've made a couple posts about them on my Facebook for sure about where to get them.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much.
Creative.
All right.
All right.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Everybody have a good day, huh?
Good night. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
John,
bro. Thank you
You
so
guys
much.
have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Yo.
Later, y'all.